And now to a News4 Jack's I-Team investigation into the death of an 11-year-old Clay County boy. Rylan Wise was found dead this January after investigators said he overdosed on pills while staying with his father. His death has triggered a State Department of Children and Families investigation and a criminal investigation of his death. As News4 Jack's I-Team investigator Kelly Wiley reports, his mother is fighting the state in order to keep her other children out of harm's way.
Maddie Wise is still in disbelief.
The second he was born, he was attached to my hip, just always there.
That her firstborn son is gone.
That this can't be real. Like, I just want to go see him. I just want to hug him.
This is all she has left of her smiling, bright 11-year-old. On January 12th, 2021, at 10:44 in the morning, police received 911 calls reporting 11-year-old Rylan Wise was unresponsive. Rylan and his sister had been staying at his father's house when he was found dead in a bedroom. Since his parents' separation, they shared custody of their two oldest children. Medical examiners reported Rylan overdosed on methadone pills, a drug commonly used to treat opioid addiction and pain.
What are you thinking when you hear him say that?
How in the world did my son get a hold of that?
The medical examiner determined the 11-year-old committed suicide, something his mother says does not make sense.
He would have said goodbye.
After Rylan's death, the Clay County Sheriff's Office and the Florida Department of Children and Families began investigating Rylan's death, and a judge ordered Rylan's dad to have no contact with his other minor children. In a case plan, DCF workers wrote in February that there were serious concerns that the father's suspected drug usage played a role in the child's death, and that there were concerns that the father is not being honest about the events leading up to his child's death. The caseworker also wrote, there are concerns that without intervention by the department, that the father's other children would be at risk. In the months since Rylan's death, the Clay County Sheriff's Office concluded its investigation with no findings of criminal conduct against Rylan's father. A judge is now considering a request from Rylan's dad for supervised visitation. Rylan's mother's attorney says DCF is supporting therapeutic visitation, which is a form of contact. But Rylan's mother and a court-appointed guardian ad litem says that's not in the best interest of Rylan's siblings.
I felt certain that the Department of Children and Families was going to back us up on terminating his parental rights and not allowing him contact any further with the remaining children. And they have indicated they support him having contact with the children.
In a letter to the regional manager for Department of Children and Families, Sheriff Michelle Cook said the other children should not be placed with their father. Cook wrote that by the time law enforcement was notified of Rylan's death, his body was showing signs of decomposition, and that burnt spoons, syringe tops, empty pill bottles, and devices used for smoothing meth and marijuana were found, and that the house was littered with trash, debris, and old food. In her final plea, the sheriff said, based on the circumstances and delay of reporting of Rylan's death, the deplorable home conditions, and the presence of drug paraphernalia, the other children should not be placed with their dad. The I-Team reached out to Sheriff Cook to understand why this case prompted her to write a letter to DCF. In an email to our station, Sheriff Cook said she felt moved to write the letter on behalf of the other children involved, and that investigators continue to be open to investigating any new information that comes to light in the case.
How? How in the world can there not be charges? How is this not negligent?
The attorney for Rylan's father in the dependency case for their children has not returned our calls and emails about the case. Our request to speak with him remains open. This week, a judge will consider and possibly decide on whether their father can see his children in supervised visits.
Well, I'm not just an angry mother who is looking for revenge. I'm trying to keep my other 3 children safe.
And families to speak to us not only about this case, but to talk more broadly about its policies around recommending and supporting regaining parental visitation in custody, especially in cases where a child has died. DCF told me it's processing our request, but they're not currently available for interviews. As far as the Sheriff's Office death investigation, we are waiting for a copy of their full investigative report. The News4JAX I-Team will continue investigating this and will bring you news of development.